Welcome back to the final part of Shadow Man Remastered. It's been fun playing through this game again, but it had to end at some point. That point is now. We are back at the engine block. All pistons have been shut down, which means we can finally pass through and see where Luke went off to on the other side of it. There's only one part of the asylum that we have not explored, and that is the very center.
Please, Mikey.
Luke!
It's bad, Mikey. Real bad. They're gonna kill me if they catch me.
Luke, don't move. Stay there. I'm coming to get you. Jesus, Luke, no!
Oh, that Luke, always running away and luring Mike deeper and deeper into the asylum. On the other side of the engine block, we find plenty of barrels with health, violator ammo, voodoo skulls.
Got it.
How nice of Luke to make sure that we were all full up. We hear the sound of a true form, and there's one in the distance, but if you saw, Luke ran away. He went around the corner. There he goes. And if you're wondering how can there be a true form when we have all 120 Dark Souls, don't worry about it. He's not going to come out of there. It's fine. Here's another. Luke, for some reason, will not stop running away. He went through this door. But maybe it would be a good idea to just save the game before we headed through this door. Just, you know, for reasons. So Mike can relive his touching reunion with Luke over and over again. Let's head on inside.
Luke, there you are. What you doing running away like that? Luke, speak to me, kid.
Hiya, Mikey. Glad you could make it. I've been waiting for you. I was scared they were gonna catch me. That you weren't gonna come get me.
Here, Luke. You should have known I'd always be there for you, bro.
There were bad things in the dark. Badder than the boogeyman. They did stuff to me. Stuff I don't want to think about.
Oh, God. I'm sorry, Luke.
Hey, you want to hear a joke, Mikey?
Sure.
Once upon a time, there was a murderer and his victim walking hand in hand towards some deep, dark woods. The victim squeezes the murderer's hand real tight. He says, looking up pleadingly with his big brown eyes, "I'm real scared, mister, of the deep, dark woods."
Luke, what the hell?
He sighs and he says, "You're scared? How the hell do you think I feel?
I'm gonna be walking back through them on my own." Pretty funny, hey, Mikey? Pretty goddamn amusing, don't you think?
You ain't Luke. You ain't my brother.
Congratulations! You win the booby prize. It was never your brother. Just a little insurance to get you here. Really, Michael, you must learn to let the dead rest in peace.
Who are you?
And he asked him, "What is thy name?" And he replied, "My name is Legion, for we are many." And you, Shadow Man, are Legion also. The souls of the many fill your vitals to bursting.
To hell with this obscure shit. I don't need it. All I need to know is that I'm gonna take you down.
You really don't get it, do you? You're even more of a posturing fool than I first believed. When I came up with my grand and incredibly brilliant plan, which you will know as the prophecy, all those years ago.
What? You created the prophecy?
Of course I did, you pillock. Surely you didn't believe all that bollocks about the old gods imparting the knowledge to the ancients. The only god back then was me. It was I who spoke to the ancients in their dreams and planted the seed for my triumphant return. Of course, all those years ago, I couldn't have hoped for a more willing puppet. Luckily, the puppet is you, Michael Leroy. And of course, now that you have so kindly presented poor Lukey with his teddy bear, it is impossible for you to leave.
You bastard!
Thank you. I suppose you've read Les Cartes, for it is written, "And Legion took the power of the Dark Souls unto him." I knew that the Dark Souls would be difficult to get, and I needed someone to bring them to me. And here you are, replete with their immortal power, a power I require to energize my Dark Engine and project my armies across the Veil to Liveside. As it was in the beginning, is now, and forever shall be.
It isn't over yet.
Oh, I think it is, Michael. Well and truly over. We spoke the word to Pike, Batrachian, Cruz, and the others, so that they might open the way. We whispered sweet nothings into Nettie's ear as she lay sleeping, and she sent you to us, like the proverbial lamb to the slaughter man.
The power is within you, Shadow Man. The power to unleash the apocalypse upon your peasant little world.
The throne awaits you, Michael Leroy. You are the fuel for a great engine, as it was in the beginning, is now, and forever shall be. Amen to that!
Well, look who has decided to appear. It's the main villain who we last saw at the very beginning of the game, talking to Jack. Here at the very end, in the throne room. Well, he calls it a throne. It's actually a chair. This chair is connected to the Dark Engine. Legion, please. See, if we look at... No, not that. If we look at Jack's journal... That's it. Yeah, the Dark Engine. This is how he drew it. There's the soul seat right there. Skull cap over the throne. And this is the engine itself. So we finally found the actual engine. And, well, Mike is so despondent over discovering it wasn't actually Luke. He just doesn't have the heart to fight back.
Not up to it, are you, Michael? This is the way the world ends, Michael. Not with a bang, but with a whimper. Goodbye.
Oh God, no! Shadow Man!
With a whimper.
Oops, all true forms. So we got the bad ending. It turns out that the whole plan all along was for Michael himself to be the fuel for the Dark Engine that would power the true forms. Michael would be the power source of the army of immortal soldiers that would destroy the world. But if you think about what the prophecy said, it's not exactly how it said things would turn out. Let's look at that again. You remember Les Cartes? We've looked at this a few times during the game. Here's the part where Nettie falls unconscious. Legion took the power of the Dark Souls unto him. The end. Well, here we see Legion with the Dark Souls in him. But that's not how things just went. Mike had the Dark Souls in him, and he was used as the power source. Maybe we could change this so the prophecy actually occurs this time.
Look,
Let's skip this.
there you are. What?
that the best you can do?
Get up! Get up, you bastard!
Alas, it would appear that I am done for.
You didn't reckon on the fact that the dark souls I now possess would give me even greater power. Power enough to take you down.
You might think that. But unfortunately, and once again, you are woefully mistaken.
What the? Jesus!
Now you will die!
Well, Legion's true form? I guess this is his true form. It's a lot less dapper than what we were seeing before. There's also not a whole lot of room to maneuver up here, so let's head on down. Much more room down here. Also, we might as well get the double violators out. I mean, maybe there's some sort of irony that the thing that finally actually takes down Legion are the weapons that were designed in his asylum. I mean, you can use any weapon, it's just that double violators will kill him much faster than anything else. And that's it.
This was the one flaw in your plan, Legion. The Dark Souls have given me the power to defeat you. I've read my prophecy. And Legion shall take the Dark Souls unto him. Well, here they are. I think it's time to make a fast exit.
My God, the lad's got him bloody done it. Looks like you owe me that drink, Michael.
I am the Lord of Deadside, walker between the worlds, immortal voodoo warrior. As a god, I stamp upon the writhing face of the Deadside serpent. Weapon in my hand, the arcing death blow. The horror, I embrace it.
And so, that's the end of Shadow Man. Mike realized that even though the prophecy looked like that things were going to turn out badly for humanity, he realized the truth that not even Legion could withstand the power of 120 purple worms into his body. Just couldn't do it. Only the Mask of Shadows could withstand that. And so, well, I guess it looked like Legion was going to die from that, but Legion is immortal. Maybe that was only just a setback. Who can say? But if it was a setback, it was a large one, because we saw the asylum collapse, Castlevania style, upon Legion's death. As Legion indeed... not sure why Asylum collapsed. I mean, of course, we're used to the idea of a boss dying and the whole fortress falling apart. But maybe just a flaw in Jack's design of the asylum. Fatal flaw. So yes, that was Legion's whole plan that he was waiting many millennia for, waiting for his asylum to be built, for his true forms to be created, for the Dark Engine to be constructed, and then finally for the Shadow Man of Prophecy to gain all the Dark Souls, and so he could be put in the seat of the Dark Engine and power the soldiers that would destroy the world. But it was thwarted because Legion just did not understand that... we said the one flaw that Legion did not anticipate was that the Dark Souls would give Mike the power to destroy him, which seems like a pretty big thing for Legion to overlook. Seems pretty big. Red Pepper, also as mentioned, the voice of Shadow Man. I really like his voice in this. It's very distinctive. I always do like when you hear like a new distinctive voice for a character as opposed to the usual voice actors that you'll hear in video games. And obviously this is not a new performance. This is the performance from the 1999 game, but still the fact that it is... I don't actually know if Red Pepper did any other games, but I haven't heard his voice before in a game, so I really heavily associate his voice with Shadow Man as opposed to, you know, voice actors that would have had more roles in games, and which you associate them with many different roles. But I do like it when you do hear a unique voice. Short ending. That's one flaw I would say about the game, that I would have liked it if there was a longer, more conclusive ending, considering how long the game is. I mean, we went through it, you know, here pretty quick. You and I, playing together. But the first time, like I said, the first time playing through the game, it will take you a long time to actually get through it. And I would have liked there to be some sort of, maybe lengthier ending. Maybe we could have seen Mike buy Jaunty that drink he mentioned in their last conversation. He did promise him a drink if they won the day. We didn't see him do that drink. But still, Shadow Man, I greatly enjoyed the game when I first played it on the Dreamcast back then in 2000. And the game has aged quite a bit, but I'm really happy about this remaster because I do think it really breathes new life into the game. It just feels a lot better to control, and nice to have the modern amenities. Oh, hold on. That's just an additional part of the theme that only plays during the credit roll. Like, most of the time you're hearing the main theme here during the credit roll, but during the credits you do hear that additional bit right at the end. And the credits do repeat, so we can press enter to go back to the title screen. Yeah, like I said, I'm really happy with the remaster. I'm really happy with how this turned out. I may have mentioned it earlier that I was a bit concerned when I bought Shadow Man Remastered to see how this game holds up over time, even with, you know, the modern additions in terms of controls and such. And I was happy to find that I had a really good time playing through this once again. Just something about the mood and the atmosphere and the environments of Shadow Man that have always really stood out to me, more so than many other horror adventure games. And it's a game that I've always had fond memories of. I really like the environments. The Asylum, I would say, is probably my favorite evil fortress in a video game. It's absolutely the biggest and the most realized. Like, you know, many video games, you'll go to the villain's evil castle at the end of the game for the final confrontation. In this game, you find the evil castle near the beginning, and you keep going back and forth to it throughout the game, and it's just this huge, massive facility that you spend, like, you gotta spend like half the game length in the Asylum, I think. And so it always stands out to me when I think about evil castles in a video game. The Asylum has to be my favorite. But not sure what else there really is to say about Shadow Man, other than I just really like the game still, and I think the remaster has done a fantastic job of updating certain elements that really needed to be updated. But before we say goodbye, there is one other thing that we should do. one thing that we have yet to do. Because, of course, we did get every single Dark Soul, bringing us up to level 10. And there was something that we could do once we reach level 10. Let's head back to the Marrow Gates.
Come on, Slowpoke.
I guess now we know why you hear Legion say "for we are many" when you teleport, because Legion was impersonating Luke. We're back here at the beginning where we started in Deadside. You remember what was here. There is something that we couldn't do anything with it yet. Just have to take everyone out so they don't knock me off the bloodfalls. Okay. This is what we're here for. This bloodfall right here. We'll climb up a bloodfall just one more time to reach the level 10 door. The map said mystery behind it. So let's find out for ourselves what is behind the level 10 door.
I am the Lord of Deadside.
The last time Mike will say that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, for one thing, we get a secret. We've already looked at the secrets that we've unlocked. Which secret was this? Wireframe mode. That was it. Ooh, look at that. This is wireframe mode. Oh, it is hard to really grasp the environment like this, isn't it? Like, I can see too much and not enough at the same time. I mean, obviously, there's not going to be that many polygons compared to a modern game. Let's talk to Jaunty.
Put the dilly-dally in, Michael, and get yourself over here.
Why is Jaunty not wireframed? He is still textured.
Mikey, what's up?
Oh, he's not.
Looking more peaked than you usually do.
It's Nettie. She's fallen into a coma.
I'm not surprised. She was always one for more than a drop of the hard stuff. Never
So-
meant to stop. I tell you, she used to go like that.
I mean, unlike most of the bonuses that we have seen, secrets, I don't know how you would actually try to play this game in this mode. It just really hard to tell where to go or what anything is. Oof, I don't know which direction I'm going now. I don't know how you would do that, but it's an option if you wanted to try. Whoop, went back the way we came. But of course, Shadow Man does have a whole lot of secrets, which was the style at the time. When you're talking about, well, this was originally an N64 game, thinking about games from that era. A big thing that reminded us of when this game was made was Big Head Mode. People loved Big Head Mode back then. But yeah, this game has all kinds of secrets. But enough of that. Let's see what's actually behind the level 10 door. Well, first of all, there's something here that was not here in the original game. It's kind of hard to tell what that is, but what it is like a fetus inside of a ball and like rings rotating around it. You did not find this in the level 10 door in the original game. This was an unused asset in the first game, I believe. There was supposed to be... There's like... my understanding is that after the credits in the original version of the game, it was supposed to cut to the entrance of the Marrow Gates, and you would see this ball with the baby in it above the Marrow Gates. That cutscene was not actually implemented in the original game, but people ripped out the data from the game and saw that there was going to be a cutscene like that. And I guess for the remaster, they just moved this particular asset into this cave. What this is the baby version of Asmodeus, who is the villain from Shadow Man Second Coming. So there was supposed to be a little sequel hook in the original game. Or at least I believe this is supposed to be Asmodeus. I believe that's what this is. But we can't do anything with that. Like, we can try to shoot it. Nothing's happening there. No, nothing happening there. But what we're actually here for is this.
This should be useful.
This is the actual prize for getting through the level 10 door. It's the Book of Shadows. Now, in the N64 version, I believe the prize was the second Violator. This was changed for the Dreamcast, the PlayStation, and PC version to the Book of Shadows, removing the second Violator. For the remaster, they put the second Violator back in the game, and they put it in the experimentation rooms, one of the new levels. So they have both secrets in the game. Let's take a look at what the Book of Shadows is. A message from the devs. Now, as you come to Journey's End, please accept this gift, dear friend. This Book of Shadows, a small token. Words of thanks, softly spoken, for playing through our little story and taking Mike to his dark glory. And so to you we do present works of art, words of intent, to give credit where it is due, and those who brought this tale to you. But before you go, please think again. This game is not the world of men. True horror lies outside your door, in torture, murder, rape, and war. Outside, the horror will persist, for shadow men do not exist, and killers too are not so slick, just sad, pathetic, weak, and sick. Thanks to you again, dear friend, this tale of Shadow Man must end. Perhaps one day we'll meet once more, when come Asmodeus's dark spore. I never actually played the sequel, so I did not actually meet once more. I only played like the very beginning of that game, and I don't know, just wasn't clicking with me. Like, as much as Shadow Man 1 clicked with me, Shadow Man 2 just didn't. Maybe I'll give it another try at some point. What do we have here? Well, we have artwork. The Book of Shadows is actually a book of artwork, mostly concept art. Here's some artwork from the comic book. Here's some concept art for the sisters. That clearly is Legion's final form. That would be the flambeau, my weapon I use the most. That does not appear to be something that actually made it into the game. I assume this is concept art for a weapon, like a horned skull that I guess Mike is wearing on his arm, but nothing like that is in the game. There's the teddy bear, which, yeah, Legion mentioned that Mike could not leave that final room because Mike gave Luke the teddy bear. So yeah, if you tried to teleport out of that room when the final battle begins, you would find that you were not able to do it. Mike actually did give away his means of escaping, and the door to the room does lock after the fight begins. Jaunty. That would be the Asan. Says it right there. Another view of the Asan. Mike holding automatic weapons. He's drawn here with like a sun tattoo on his forehead and a couple of these. Like, you have some sun and moon imagery, but I guess that actually was not in the game. His arm, I can make... These images are low resolution, so it's kind of hard to see some of the notes. This says Snake Gad. The gads are the tattoos. So in this one, he has a snake tattoo wrapping around his arms. I wonder if that was supposed to be something else, like if they changed the imagery of the tattoos or what. He has like another tattoo of like a wheel, a gear, right here, right above the crotch. That's where you do it. So I guess in this concept art, the three gads are the snakes on the arms, the sun on the head, You have this gear on the crotch. There's also an image of a moon, but I don't know. Do we see where the moon is on Mike's body? I don't think I see it around here on these drawings. But maybe the nature of the gads were changed during development. Enemy called a tracker, like a jackal, like a hyena with a gas mask. We don't see anything like this. We also don't see this big rat, this big goofy looking rat thing. Don't see that in the game. Here's a killer. I wouldn't say this really looks like any of the serial killers we fought in the game, however. Just like, you know, generic serial. Just draw. What would you think a serial killer looks like? Here you go. Here's like a fiery path. I'm not sure if this is anything in particular. Obviously, it's part of Deadside. There's like a pyramid and more of a fiery area and a bridge. These silhouettes, I would assume, are the sisters, so I guess this is just like a very basic representation of Mike in the temples fighting the sisters, maybe? Jawbone. Yeah, this is the marteau. Another concept art of the sisters. Now, here are some masks, and in this like faraway shot, you see Mike looking up at a mask, and you don't really see anything like that, I don't think. We do see like a tent like this. We do see that in a couple places in Deadside, in the Wasteland. Another tent, some totems. Stilted crypt, maybe? Here is a woman covered in leather with a big old zipper. Gotta have that big zipper. So we do see some S&M imagery in the asylum. Here's more of that kind of imagery. Here's some lava. I guess this is more temple stuff. Again, I do wish we could get a better. This was maybe higher resolution, so we could get a better look at these notes. There's a big muscle man with like a gas mask. We don't really see an enemy like this, though. Here's the windmill in the Wasteland. I don't think we see anything like this. There's this lump coming out of the ceiling, and it looks like there's something inside the lump. And like lines going to bodies outside. And we don't see anything like this in the game. Here's some weapons. Judging from the look of them, I might assume these are maybe some Deadside weapons, but we never get anything that looks like these. Another image of Mike. He has his snake and gear gads here. I do kind of wonder, were those different gads? Were they originally intended to do different things, or were they always intended to give yourself protection against fire? I would be interested to know if he was supposed to have other abilities. This looks like a decrepit live side room. I guess one of the serial killer levels. A bird. We see such this would be from the bayou at the beginning. This looks like the schisms that we see in the Cathedral of Pain, though in the game they look considerably different. They don't look like this, but that seems to be what this is supposed to be. This is much more gruesome, I would say, than the actual in-game torsos. I guess this is Nettie. She's not dressed like that in the game, but perhaps the person that she's possessing, maybe this is how she would have dressed pre being possessed. Remember, Nettie is a nomad soul. That body she's in is not her own body. Here is a smiling fat man, and I assume this would have been an asylum enemy. We don't really see anyone like this, though. There's also a very thin enemy with a spear. I assume this would have been a Deadside, like, Wasteland kind of enemy, but we don't really see something like this. We do see this guy, the two-headed guy. We see this. This guy looks fierce. He's in a battle position with a shield and like a spike tied to his arm. Look at this guy over here. He's all bent over. So of these, This one's labeled Torso Twins. We do see this. We don't really see these others. Here is a Dead Wing. We do certainly see the Dead Wing in Dead Side. And a drawing of a Dark Soul. Now, these are some pretty different enemies that I'm interested in knowing what these would be. It looks like that these are maybe like a hospital-themed enemies. Like if you look at this drawing over here, it looks like there's someone on a gurney and they have IVs attached to them and like miscellaneous sharp tools hanging over the ceiling. So maybe this is like some sort of medical or hospital-based level, and these would be maybe in the asylum. Maybe originally there's supposed to be like a medical wing of the asylum. Maybe we would have met these enemies here. This enemy, I feel like, gives off some nun vibes. Asylum denizen. We don't fight anything like this. There is a red enemy in the asylum, the one that says blood, but this enemy doesn't seem to have legs and is holding 2 knives. We really don't see an enemy like that. Mike, of course. This guy kind of looks like a knight. Again, we don't see anything like this. I don't know where we might have encountered like a medieval knight. Really wasn't a level in the game where this would have come up. We do encounter a guy like this in the asylum. This is the most common enemy. Got his hooks, got his leather mask. He's ready to go. Another Dead Wing. Jaunty again. Mike again by the Marrow Gates. Mike again with his guns smoking. That's Victor. Not sure if that's exactly Victor's face texture, but Victor would be the closest one that this character looks like. Here's Mike standing with some dead people. Also, this guy right here on the left. This looks like what they ended up using for the schisms. This particular face and torso. Mike has shot a big hole through someone. Looks like a regular human being, too. I mean, he does kill some human beings in this game. An image of Mike shooting a shadow gun. I actually used this image as an avatar on YouTube and Twitter for quite a few years. It was like I used this for a long time. Thunt, 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 says Mike's gun as Jaunty looks on. Mike and Jaunty once again going to get that drink. Here's the cast of villains. Actually, no, Nettie's here, unless you want to consider Nettie to be a villain, but at least in this game, she isn't. Also, Jaunty. Here's Victor, Avery, a True Form, Legion, Marco, Milton, Jack. And we got some Dead Side denizens. And we have Yort hanging out in the back. Yort finally was put into the game to say hello in the Temple of Life. And of course, here are our actual cast of villains, taking everyone else out. For we are many. I don't think we really encounter anything like that. Though looking at the head kind of looks like Legion, so I wonder if this was maybe concept for another of Legion's forms. That just looks like some kind of zombie man. Another concept for the sisters. More sister concepts. And yet another sister concept. Would be annoying not to have hands, I would imagine. Concept for a true form, though the ones we fight in the game don't really look like this. Look at that thin arm right there. Look how big this arm is and how thin this arm is. Look at all the dicks. So many dicks. There's a Govy. We don't see... Well, maybe this is... Actually, maybe this is the guy who says blood. Not sure. I guess I'd have to compare it to the the enemy we actually see in the game. But that enemy is red, and that enemy does shoot a gun at us. And this guy is holding a gun. This guy actually does look like he's holding a version of the Violator. So maybe this is the enemy who says blood. Doesn't look exactly like that in the game, though. The clips say, all 3 pieces put together. Another view of that man with his hooks and his big nipple rings and his leather mask, and he's ready to party. Okay, that's more like the actual true forms that we fight in the game. Just a zombie man dragging his dead zombie parts around, trying to get by, just trying to do the best he can. All right, this seems to be the enemy that in an earlier piece was labeled as an asylum denizen. Can't see the legs, wearing a garment over the legs, holding out arms to the sides, crucifixion style, holding knives. Very religious feeling to this particular enemy. I kind of wonder if maybe this enemy would have been used for like the maybe like the cathedrals for the retractors. When we go get the retractors, they're like in these shrine areas. Like that might have been an area where something like this could have been here. I kind of wondered if maybe this was like an asylum version of the sisters. Like what if there was an asylum sister? That would have been pretty interesting. Maybe would have looked something like this. And that would be Milton, looking all mad. Victor, doesn't look quite the same in the face. Of course, Marco, rubbing his hands clean. That would be Luke, with his teddy bear. Legion, got a little blood coming out of his mouth. He always has blood coming out of his mouth. I don't know why Legion's whole thing is that his mouth bleeds. It's his look. Here's Avery. Like, this is the actual image used in the game. As well as for Jack. One of these two is having a good time. Like, this one over here is doing all right. This one over here is kind of grumpy about the whole thing. Another example of what would a serial killer look like. I guess this is it. Holding the screwdriver and also clearly sporting an erection. A big furnace. I wonder if this could possibly be like when the asylum was first started to be built. Maybe this is what it looked like. But that would also bring up the question of what is this village? We don't really see villages in Deadside. We do see some remnants of like some structures like that windmill. You don't really actually see full villages or anything. Of course, the larger asylum. A Shadow Man background, if you want one. You can take a screenshot right there. There it is. A render of the Violator, if you wanted to see its detail. An open mouth. Ah! It's yelling. The Mask of Shadows. Ra, I am the Shadow Man, Lord of Deadside. Tremble in the face of my mighty power. Ra. It's not such a serious version of Mike. I do like how his pants are flowing like Spawn's cape. Because that was the awesome thing in the 90s. Spawn's ridiculously gigantic cape that flowed everywhere. Mike doesn't have a cape. So he does the best he can. He's got big flowing pants. He's doing a no-scope headshot right here. And here is Mike with all of his weapons. You know, that reminds me of like, there's this piece of artwork from, I think it might have been Link to the Past. It was one of the early Zeldas where Link is holding, he's like got every piece of equipment that he can get strapped to him, and he's walking with purpose. I forget if that's Zelda 1, 2, or 3. This little drawing right here reminds me of that. I kind of like that kind of artwork where you see the hero holding everything that they pick up in the game. Everything is strapped. Because obviously you don't see that in the actual game. I would like to see like a serious version of that, like serious Mike drawing with everything on him. I mean, it wouldn't be possible because if you have everything on him, then he's got 2 violators, one in each hand, but I'm sure there could be some way to make that work. Mike talking to Jaunty. I don't know. I just always thought they'd be a lot bigger. The sign, I think, says entrance to the netherworld, closed for repairs, I think is what that says. And I believe that, yep, that is our final piece of artwork. And that's our final item that we get in the game. Final item, the 4th book, the Book of Shadows. I always liked this particular reward because I like concept art. I like taking a look at concept art for a game. So I was pleased with this reward when I first got it back in the Dreamcast version. And that's what we got here. So now that's finally it for Shadow Man Remastered. Game is done, every Dark Soul has been obtained, and the level 10 door has been opened. Of course, there are additional secrets that I did not get in this playthrough, as well as those extremely well-hidden teddy bears, but I don't really feel like I'm going to end up doing that, just because you have to be someone who wants to, you know, poke at the edges of the game and figure out how to get outside the map and such if you want to get those. However, there are a couple of enemies that have not yet been put into the game. The list of features on the Steam page says that Shadow Man Remastered is supposed to feature new enemies, including the Seraph Queen, and the Dead Worm. Now, those enemies have not yet been patched into the game, as of now. Don't know when that's going to happen, but it's supposed to happen sometime. Of course, we did encounter a new boss playing through this game. It was Yort in the Temple of Life. But I just wanted to, even though those other enemies have not been patched in, I just wanted to play through this now. And like I said, I really enjoyed doing it. This is the end of this playthrough, but once those new enemies are patched into the game, I'll probably come back to this to take a look at the Seraph Queen and the Dead Worm and see what they're all about. But as for right now, Mike's adventure through Shadow Man Remastered is over. I hope you enjoyed watching this playthrough, because I really enjoyed playing through Shadow Man once again. And that's it for Mike's adventures through Dead Side and Live Side. I guess it's time for him to go get that drink. It's the first one. Of course it's the first one. Why wouldn't it be the first one? Mike's going home.